Hi folks, it's Andy. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Here we are for another feedback video from one of you wonderful viewers that have sent me this video to get a bit of feedback from a shiai that you've done in Japan. So we're going to have a look at that in a minute. But before we do, don't forget, first thing I'll say about all of these feedback videos is, most importantly, I don't want any negative comments down there. I don't want anything criticising, stuff like this. None of that nasty stuff. If you're going to do that, just delete the comments. If you think you can do better, send us a video and we'll have a look, eh? So yeah, with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so here we are. As I said, this video has actually been sent to us from someone in Japan, in Nagoya, I believe. They're on the left here. It is a shiai. So that's the context that we're looking at. It's quite an interesting one to look at because often we look at these and they are gradings rather than shiai. So I'm quite happy to look at a shiai video. I've got no idea of the person's grade or ability, but we'll... you know, obviously look at it independently of that anyway. Before I jump into things, excuse me, before I jump into things, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all the YouTube stuff, but most importantly, support the channel, support this content if you like it, by shopping at KendoStar.com. Alright, that's what keeps the camera rolling, it's what keeps these videos coming, it keeps you getting amazing Kendo equipment, keeps me being able to afford these fantastic haircuts. So with that being said, let's jump into this. Let's have a look. Okay, we'll be stopping and starting as we go, but as I say, we're looking on the left here. So let me just turn my monitor towards me a little bit more. Right. Good, Kiai. Good. Okay, so first off, right, we're talking about shiai, right? So first thing I'm going to say, good how you had the good kiai stood up, good kiai start to interact with the opponent, but here's an issue you're gonna have straight away. You're not in a sort of kamae posture here, and in reaction to your partner, your opponent here, you brought your left foot back and sort of planted yourself on your ground as you defended this way. This kind of action. This ain't the best strategy, okay? This is very much exposing you to strikes. Look, I'm not saying you have to be able to do an ojuwaza or do some sort of strike straight away. Of course, that's the best thing, but it doesn't work like that. I get that. So what you need to do is, if you're going to defend yourself, you don't want to go this way. You want to go this way, all right? So you want to close the distance. Step in as you defend. Don't step back as you defend. Don't give them the room to hit you, okay? That's a really important first point. So I understand that you, obviously, you won't be seeing much hikiwaza here because of the new rules and stuff. It's fine. So this is a dangerous point here, right? This sort of kote strike. I'm not saying you have to throw everything into every single strike. Sometimes it's useful to sort of throw a strike out there that's maybe not 100%, but you kind of left yourself a little bit exposed here as well. So you need to just be a bit careful of that. Nice kamae, good posture. We've been looking at a lot of people's kamae. It's that sort of S shape, but you don't seem to be having that. It's got that nice sort of kamae shape. Like it. Again, you see how you've started to defend yourself by going backwards and raising. You want to come forwards and defend. And then you can do an immediate hikiwaza. As long as you don't sort of spend ages in Tsubuzaria. Good though. Nice attempt there. think your opponent, looking at their kamae here, right? Their left hand's quite turned this way and their right hand's quite straight. This sort of person's probably likely to raise their hands as a defend. So your sort of generic, like, ippon uchi waza, where you just throw a waza in there, just like a tobikomi waza, probably isn't going to see that much success. You're going to have a better chance with sort of nidan waza. It doesn't have to be like kotemen or something like that. The first part of the nidan waza, and saying nidan waza in a loose sense, it's not in the sort of official sense really, because the first part doesn't need to actually be a waza. It can just be a feint. So you can sort of feint towards men, drop to kote, men, then men. These sort of things would be quite useful against this sort of opponent. Especially he's not very committal to strikes either, and he leaves his hips behind. So, you know, you probably struggle with some sort of kaishi waza. So kaishido isn't the one to use against this sort of person. It's more like suriage men. They leave you loads of room for suriage men. See this? See here, you've got loads of room for suriage men. So as you step back here, instead of this way, you need to bring it up higher so that you can maybe work in that suriage. Good semi. As I said, I think you've got a really nice kamae. Again, as I say, you're not really going to have a lot of success with these sort of single strikes. Good. So again, you see how he's very tentative in the way that he's attacking you. So, you know, that sort of ojuwaza will work, but you have to use the right one. Okay, this isn't the correct way to strike here. It's reasonably good timing. You got him to lift the hands up here, but the problem is you brought your hands up this way. This isn't what you want to do after you hit kote. After you hit kote, your shinai goes slightly to the left. You don't bring them up after hitting, because there's no way you can make an additional strike right now. Good try. So you see here as well, this is going back to that first bit, yeah, where you sort of stop in here. Now, I mean this in the best way, but if your opponent had been a little bit higher level than he is, he'd be taking your kote right now with an atouchi, because you kind of have you've shown him this once already, where you sort of hit the kote, stopped, and raised your hands. So all you need to do is defend, and then you can get that hikigote as a sort of atoichi. You could do men probably as well, but you're kind of presenting him with a good opportunity there. Or if he's a step above that, then what he might even do is do a kind of nidan waza from their kote men, because he'll throw at your kote and you'll drop your hands, and then he'll hit at your men as well. So there's lots of ways to open someone up. He does what you just did, is the point I'm making. You see how he does the same sort of thing with that tentative kote, but he hasn't left you an opportunity to work with, whereas you did. So he's done that exact same kote, but stopped on the spot to see how you're reacting, sort of testing the water rather than trying to take an ippon. But instead of this way, he's sort of on the spot there, so there isn't a lot of... I know you can't really see, but instead of this way, he's kind of this way. So he's not leaving you with much to work with after that. He's kind of kept himself safe. Good try. Could do with a little bit more momentum on this men, right? I think it's an equal match though. You know? So he was looking for that degote here. It's a bit of a telltale sign. I know he didn't score it, but actually, see as he starts coming forward, his Kensen starts to raise slightly. I don't know if you can see that. and that he's kind of hoping you're going to do the kote. It's a bit of a telltale sign, but he's a bit too close for it to get anywhere. So he can't, you know, he doesn't really make a good strike. What you want to do is when you see them approaching, like, remember how he approached you just now. Just try and remember that. And as you see them approach like that again in the future, remember the hunting for kote usually. So instead, next time, try to let them think you're coming for men, but maybe do like kote kaishi men or aigote men or kote suriage men, and you'll have some success with it, I'm sure. He's already sort of figured out he's gonna struggle to hit your men. So he's looking for something else. Good. Good. Try here. I know there's the whole sort of new rules thing, but try not to let the tension cut here. See here where you're just sort of walking back and there's this kind of sort of thing. You better try and just keep that concentration just for those few seconds there. It'll make a big difference to how your next movements affect him. So this is a really dangerous point right now, and I can see we're getting to the end of the video, so I've got a feeling that something's going to happen. But this is always a really dangerous point whenever the shiai's reset. Have to be careful. Okay, good. So you didn't fly it in with men, which is fine, but he probably sensed that you were coming for kote, and the reason for that is because you did a similar thing to what he did a bit earlier. You started to come in and you kind of got kote written all over you, and you've already shown him that when you do kote, you don't really throw everything behind it, so he's got the space to do kote men. Now, he's obviously a little bit deep with that kote men, but that's okay. Aigote men is what's called a genmyo na waza, so the referees have got a bit of flexibility on points like this, for things like whether it's exactly hitting the right area and stuff like that, the shinai. So it's a great point from him, to be fair. But what you have to be careful of is just, as I said, throughout the match, you kind of showed him that your kote strikes weren't, like I say, they didn't have the full momentum behind them, and because you kind of gave him that impression from the start there that you were going to go for kote, from that approach, you know, he made the choice to go for kote men, and it was the right choice. It's a shame, but a good learning opportunity for you, I think. I think there's a lot for you to take away from that shiai. You did very well. It's not easy to do shiai in Japan. You know, I can definitely tell you that from experience. I've done shiai at lots of different levels in Japan, and it's not easy. It's really not. And even when there's actually a, you know, you're with opponents that are a little bit below your level, it can still be very hard because it's very difficult being in that situation. And there's a lot of external pressures coming from lots of places, and sometimes as a non-Japanese person doing shiai there, the flags aren't always sort of in your favor at the beginning until they've seen what sort of thing that you can do. So it is a difficult thing to do shiai there, so I definitely commend you for doing that. I think I've basically hit on everything there. Like I said, what I'd like to see you do more is, when you defend yourself, don't just step back and raise your hands. Same after you hit that kote, don't raise your hands so much. And if you're going to hit that kote, you have to, I think you need to just add that little bit more momentum. Or if it's one to test the water, you just need to be a little bit more careful with it, all right? Because again, you sort of hit and automatically went to this right at the very end. Like this, he had that space to go in there, whereas the one that he did earlier that was the same sort of waza, even if you'd gone for the kote men at that point, he'd been able to defend himself because he was in a bit of a better position to do so. So take that on board as well. Watch your opponent, watch for those telltale signs that you've seen in here. Try not to do the same ones yourself, and keep doing it. I think you've done super well. So well done. Thank you for sending the video. I hope it was helpful. And that's it. that's it. So thank you everyone for joining me today. Don't forget to shop at KendoStar. Keep these videos coming, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.